Well, we arrived here in Pleasanton. The first taste of Northern California. First impression of Pleasanton, many Hindus, many individuals from Hindustan or India. Reminds me of Canada. What we're gonna do here is check out the BART. I've never ridden the BART, the Bay Area Rail Transit, I believe. And I met a woman in her 40s a few years ago in Yuma, Arizona. And she had just moved to Yuma and she used to reside in Pleasanton. And she told me that she got sick of Pleasanton in Northern California and she was happy and content in the Sonoran Desert there in Yuma. But here in Pleasanton doesn't seem to be that bad. Their Walmart was a disappointment, I'll say. It wasn't a super center. I believe this is the 580 Interstate. And Pleasanton is separated from the Bay, I would say. I always thought this was the East Bay, but perhaps East Bay is Hayward, Oakland. And this region has another name, the Valley or something along those lines. But I'll say here, the people don't seem that happy. They were much happier there in Half Moon Bay. Half Moon Bay, now that's a town. Right on the PCH, on the Pacific. And that was my last town on the PCH before heading here. And I missed the PCH. What an incredible highway. And the people were so friendly and happy there in Half Moon Bay. Such a fabulous town. It's amazing since I've toured the US, been to all 50 states and so many cities and towns, you really can I'm really able to judge a town, or I can tell when a town is worthy of living or if it's a great town. And Half Moon Bay is a great town. Other great towns in the US are Newell, Minnesota. St. George, Utah is pretty great. I like Yuma. And there's a small town in Iowa, Muskogee, Iowa. I'm pronouncing the name incorrectly, but that's a fantastic town. Muskogee, Iowa. I could live there. Where else are some? Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, Sandpoint, Idaho. Bonners Ferry, Idaho is pretty great. Creston, British Columbia is great. I liked Medicine Hat, Alberta. Canada was great. Gatineau, Quebec was interesting. And then in terms of states, in New England, I enjoyed New Hampshire and Maine. Wasn't a fan of Vermont. Hawaii was so interesting, the state of Hawaii and the island of Oahu. That wasn't interesting. I would say Hawaii is the most unique state of the country. See, I don't know how to get to the BART. I believe it's that way. We'll have lunch here at Whole Foods. Good old Whole Foods. Got hooked on Whole Foods in Austin, Texas, and whenever there's an opportunity to eat at their hot bar, I always try to have lunch or supper at Whole Foods. They have fantastic options there at the hot bar, organic options. They list every single ingredient used to make the dish or the item. And I think it's affordable. It's a great deal. Whole Foods and the Mexican supermarkets are the best deals. Oh, gracias. Oh, see, now we're here in Dublin. So it looks like the 580 separates Pleasanton and Dublin. Okay, the BART system's to the left. So it's nice here, the weather, and it's interesting. We'll check out this Northern California before venturing further north. So, greetings from Dublin. Dublin, Alameda County, I believe. So the only walkers I've seen this